Hi everyone, Sarah here from the Paper Cut, and tonight we are doing our Simple Beauty Christmas card class. So I can see comments coming in already. So we are going to get started. So the Simple Beauty Christmas card class is if you have this kit right here. And we're going to go right down to the table and get started. I know we had some issues last time with some glaring. We're still kind of working on that a little, but okay, now we should be down here. So
that's the card. The card you just touched is glaring a little bit. But
this one?
Yep.
Okay. Well,
I think it's better.
Yeah, it's when stuff is tipped this way that we're getting glaring. Anyways, so these are our 5 Christmas cards that we're doing, and they're all die cut cards. There's no stamping on these cards at all. And if you're new to the paper cut, we have Christmas card kits for them. So I just posted them today. So what that means, what does it mean for Christmas card kits? They are 25 count kits. So let me just, and I didn't do one for the little gift card. But I did ones for the bigger ones. So for example, in the Christmas card kit, you would get the scored cards, the 2 big layers, and then like this one, you would get the paper to die cut the joy and die cut the tree, both out of the gold MirriCard and the champagne cardstock that's behind it. So you would, it's not all pre-die cut like it comes in these Christmas card kits. So and then you can order it, like say you already order from Impression Obsession and you already have that die. So you don't need the complete kit, because the complete kit comes with the dies in it also. The things that don't come in it is like gems, adhesives, foam tape, things like that. And under the description, it tells you exactly what you get. So the Christmas card kits are for you to do 25 cards, but they don't have everything pre-done. They just have all your layers cut. So like in this one, you get your gold MirriSparkle layer, your green layer, this bigger layer. You get the paper to die cut the Merry Christmas and the paper to die cut your poinsettias. So anyways, those I just posted online today. I will probably have some more Christmas card kits with some stamping on it, but those will be later in August. So for now, I'm just featuring the Christmas card kits that we're doing in class. So let's go on and get started. Now, a few things that I said that you needed for class were adhesives, and I like to have both my layering adhesive plus to do your die cuts. So I do have my, I do have a dot roller handy. I also have a glue pen. I have my crystal lacquer. I have my micro dot adhesive sheet. So I just have an assortment of adhesives. The one thing that I find helpful is to keep my work surface clean. I like to use a Post-it note, because if I'm doing gluing and stuff, if I'm using a wet glue, I like to keep my surface pretty clean. Not always, but for these specific cards I do. So I do keep Post-it notes kind of handy. I also tonight have some wipes handy, because if my hands get sticky, I don't want them to get over everything, so I have that. I have my scissors semi-handy, my big tape gun ready to go. So we're mostly going to be assembling, but I'm also going to tell you how I got from point A to point B on most of these cards. So let's just start with the Joy card to begin with. And for homework, I said that you could have weeded, and I did weed some of my words so I could talk. So let's get on with the Joy card. So I'm going to pull out my pieces.
I can't see the very top of your work surface, Sarah.
Oh. Okay. So there, now you should be able to see everything, hopefully. Yep, there we go. So my Joy card is a mini slimline card, and it is in the ice silver. Now, I meant to get these posted online before class, that didn't happen. So the Ice Silver Mini Slimline cards will be on our website under the Mini Slimline products later, just not right now. So now for die cutting your trees, the tree was die cut both out of the gold MirriCard and it was cut out of the champagne. Now when we cut it out of the champagne, I had my friend Wendy, she does a lot of die cutting for me. So she did these and I told her for the champagne we just needed the outline and we don't need the whole thing. Or we just need, to make sure that it's die cut all the way around. But if it doesn't die cut in the middle, that's perfectly fine. So we actually are using the outline of that one on this card. So when you're double dutying some of these, if you plan it correctly, you can use pieces for 2 different cards. So in this other Christmas card class that I'm teaching coming up the end of July, we cut these pieces out, and this was one of the cutouts from that. But I told her we just need the outline, so don't worry about getting this all die cut. So, and then we had all these trees, so I'm like, I'm going to use those trees on something. And sure enough, they ended up in this class. So if those pieces are falling out, one thing that you can do is you can take Scotch tape, and I forgot to say that earlier tonight, is Scotch tape is handy behind some die cuts. But you can always take Scotch tape behind there, to hold those in place. So if any of your die cut pieces are falling out, just kind of use Scotch tape on the back of it to hold pieces in place. Otherwise, eventually, we are going to put foam tape on here also in order to attach it to the front of our card. And the foam tape can strategically be planted to hold that in place. But originally, yours should come pretty much intact. But if anything's falling out, you turn it over, put the pieces back in, and then put Scotch tape on the back. So we're just going to set that piece aside. If you are ever missing anything during class, you just let us know. Email is preferred because then I can print it off. Sometimes in the comments things get, lost, overlooked, or I look at them and they just go out of my brain. So email is preferred, but you can comment like if you're doing it tonight. But if you're watching the replay, don't comment because I probably won't see it. So anyways, then we have our gold die cut, which this one we needed to make sure that it die cut all the way through so all of those pieces could be weeded out of there. So now we're going to attach that, and that's just going to attach right over the top of our outline. So that I'm going to use my micro dot adhesive sheet for. So if you have that, go ahead and use it. Otherwise, you turn it over on a piece of scratch paper, and you could use a glue pen on there or whatever your preferred glue method is. Do we have any comments, Mom?
No.
Any questions, or everybody's just working hard?
Everybody's working hard, I think.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm missing the ice silver card. Kathy Dunn.
Well, Kathy. Well, I'll send that to you, but that kind of prevents you from... Oh, you're missing the actual card? Oh. Okay, well, those were put in after the fact, so we did kit everything else, and then we slipped the card in there. Or it's behind the envelope. Look behind the envelope, because when they were kitted, we had all the rest of the pieces and the envelope, but the cards weren't done. So some people, we put the card behind the envelope. So just make sure to look behind the envelope, but otherwise, Kathy, I will mail you your card with your order, because I did see your order come in today.
That's on me, Kathy. I did that. Oh. I'm sorry.
My mom did that. She usually never misses, because she counts while she's doing it. But this time she only had one piece to put in. So maybe that was the problem. But anyways, So get adhesive on the back of your tree. And I know I missed a little corner of this one because I must have been missing glue dots there. There we go. And then you're just going to line it up. Okay, so we have our tree. Now we have our joy. And you're going to use adhesive on the back of your joy. So that's going to go on your ice silver piece. And I didn't attach it yet or anything because I like to attach my joy and then turn it over on a clean piece of work surface while it's still clean, just to push it down. So this is our micro dot adhesive sheet that I'm using. And you just peel the top off, put your die cut in there, very carefully peel it back off. And then I'm just going to attach my joy. And you could be using glue, but one thing to note when you're using glue with MirriCard, you want to use it very sparingly, because if you get it on the front of your MirriCard, it doesn't always come off. Sometimes if I do get it on the front, I'll take like my t-shirt and wipe it, and that will sometimes take it off. But sometimes when you rub with your finger, then it just smears it more. So anyways, I attached it, but if I have a clean work surface, I kind of like to just push it down to give it a little push on there. And I did get a tiny bit of glue.
Where do you get your microdots adhesive? Will you be selling it, Ronald?
Oh, we do have the micro dot adhesive. They are on the accessory page. So, which I don't have a page that really says accessories. I should really change that. If you go to Paper Basics and open that up, then there's a section called accessories, and you will find the micro dot adhesive on that page. So now before I attach my tree, I am just going to attach my ice silver to my gold MirriCard, and then I'm going to attach that to my mini ice silver mini slimline card. So make sure your surface is clean though. So we've been doing Christmas card kits for a while. They come complete is with the dies and or the stamps, which tonight we don't have any using stamps. And then there is a paper only option, because then if you want to make 50 Christmas cards of the same one, you can get one complete kit and then one paper only kit. They do not come with envelopes though, because sometimes I hear so often that people have so many envelopes, so they don't come with the envelopes. So when I'm attaching my layers to a card, I do tend to like look at 3 sides, and then you can usually just lay it right down. But if you look and you have even top, even on the 2 sides and approximately close to the top, or even on the top also, then it should lay down and be fairly straight all the way across. With my ATG, sometimes I can pick it up a little bit, sometimes, yeah, no, you can't. So now we're going to attach our tree, and I am going to use foam tape. I'm very sad because I get this Scotch foam tape, and it's kind of a harder foam tape. And I went to the store today, just like the office store, because I get this big roll that's like really huge. And, it's like $41, but it's like this huge roll. And it's this harder foam tape. But then when I went last time, or one of the times before, they only had like a more spongy one, and the spongy one doesn't cut with your scissors. So I went today to a different one, hoping, okay, I could get my regular foam tape, because look at how low I'm running. Oh my gosh, I'm almost out of foam tape, and it's darn near going to kill me. So anyways, I went and they just have the spongy stuff. So what kind of foam tape, or where do you guys all get your foam tape from? And can you cut it like this, or can you rip it? Because if anybody has a really good source for foam tape, let me know, because I go through a ton of it. So I just kind of like it because it has a backing on it, and I usually will put it on, the hardware store. I saw that. Oh, Uline too. Okay. Did somebody say Uline?
No, I went online to look for it.
Oh, okay. So anyways, but yeah, the hardware store, it's the firmer stuff where the big roll that I normally get, it was squishy, and the squishy stuff does not cut with you. It sticks to your scissors and it's terrible. So, okay, so now I'm just going to attach that. And I like the rolls so I can cut my own widths, because when I do make and takes in my booth, I usually have them cut, really, really thin like that. So I could use pop dots and stuff, but
the 99-cent store.
The 99-cent store, I don't think we have one of those around here.
I don't think we do either. Robin Bennett.
So anyways.
She says it doesn't tear, but it cuts great.
Oh. So we have this popped up with foam tape, and then you have some pearls. Now the pearls they're connected. So they're connected in a row. So two will be connected together. And
Kathy Dunn, do you have the pearls? Because I put those in too.
Oh. Yeah, Kathy, do you have, my mom's wanting to know if you have the pearls. Because she put the pearls in and the card. So she's wondering if you're missing the card, if you're missing the pearls, because then that means she just missed your whole kit. But she didn't do it on purpose.
Yes,
she has the pearls. Yep. Okay, good. So anyways, you're going to put pearls just wherever you want. I think I gave you 10 pearls on my sample here. I only have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I only used 9. But you can use whatever pearls you want. Now, if you're mailing these, just be cautioned that, you might want to put a piece of cardstock over the top so it doesn't get caught in the mail machines, or get them hand canceled, or give them to your really special people. Or you don't have to put pearls on. And another option too, if I'm ever popping stuff up with foam tape and you're like, this isn't going to go through the mail that great, you don't have to do that. You don't have to pop up when you don't want to pop up. Anything is optional, and if you want to change anything in any of the cards, you feel free to just do whatever knocks your socks off. So there, we have our first card done. My hands aren't sticky yet. Which is shocking, actually, because usually my hands get very sticky. Okay, so card number 1. What should we go on to next? Let's go on to the mittens. Let's move away from the gold and go to the purple. Okay, now this one, we are going to start with our white piece, and we are going to start by attaching, we can actually start by attaching our 3 layers together. Now, we sometimes have trouble when we are cutting really thin layers, so if you want to see more, this one it should be like a 1/16 of an inch wider, our purple MirriCard. So if you want to see a little bit more purple MirriCard, feel free to cut a little off, or cut a little of the silver one off, if your trimmer can trim that small. But yeah, sometimes when we're cutting the narrow pieces on our big equipment, it doesn't cut as well as, or it's off by a hair. And this one is off by a hair. So if you want to, and that's only if you want, you could cut a little bit of the silver off just so you see a little bit more of the purple. Optional, okay? Now the silver MirriCard, how did I get to here? This is just silver MirriCard with run through an embossing folder. Now you just have to be careful when you run through the embossing folder that you're embossing up. So, you know, you can feel the thing on the outside. If you have it facing the wrong direction, you know, you'll emboss in instead of up. So just be careful when you're doing a stock that is white on one side and silver or whatever color on the other, that your embossing folder is going the right direction. That the image is going up into the MirriCard. So we're going to attach our layers together. But the MirriCard embosses beautifully. All of them emboss beautifully. So I don't know, I just love it. I just love how the MirriCards emboss. You know, they're kind of a thicker, so you kind of wonder if they're going to, but it's like a plastic or a film on top of the paper, so they don't crack or anything. So I'm just lining up my 2 layers. Now these 2 layers are the correct width, okay? But the silver is long. So if you like the snowflakes on one end versus the other, it's up to you which end of that layer you want to use.
Oh, Lynn Dawson didn't get her kit yet, so she's just watching.
Oh, it should be coming, Lynn. I thought it would have been there today. But it should be there tomorrow. And then I will be saving, this class will be saved here like it normally is. Otherwise, I will be emailing out the YouTube link tomorrow. And I have a lot of people tell me that they watch the first time and then do it a little bit more relaxed and can stop me and start me at their leisure. So we have those layers. Now you can save that little doohickey if you wanted to. If you want to, now it is maybe just a hair long, you don't have to cut it off if you don't want to, but you can attach that down or just kind of use it for placement. And watch out, because there is a gem in there. It's a purple gem. So let's first attach all of our pieces together. We're going to do the handcuffs or the cuffs of the mittens. We're just going to attach those. Now this is one that I'm not going to put on my micro dot adhesive. This is one actually that I'm going to use a dot roller that I usually don't use. So I'm just going to use a dot roller on my 2 little cuffs, and then I'm going to place them on my mittens. And I don't know if one goes with one mitten and one goes with the other. Okay, so we've got our 2 cuffs on our mittens. The next thing we're going to do is our warmest wishes. Now, with this, you have 2 of them. So you can do the purple behind the silver. You could do the purple on top of the silver, just showing a little bit of the silver, which I might do that on this one. Or you can just use one or the other, and then you can use your other one for a different card. That's totally up to you. And I'm missing a few pieces that I still need to poke out. So hang on, I gotta find my pin. I had 2 of them around here, now I have 1.
You left the other one over here.
Oh, okay. Left it on the other table. Okay, so I'm gonna finish poking out my warmest wishes, and then I'm going to attach them together, which I can't decide whether I want the Maybe I will put the purple on top of the tonight's card. On this one, I did the silver on top. But here I think I'm going to do the purple on top and just show a little bit of the silver. Okay, so we have our warmest. And when I was cutting this card out, I couldn't decide if I wanted purple or blue. So I just couldn't decide. So I have all kinds of layers, all kinds of mittens. I probably have enough other pieces to do 2 more cards. Because I was going to combine purple and blue. I was going to do a dark blue and a light blue. Then I ended up with all purple and silver. So it's always a process. I'm kind of curious as to what your favorite card is of tonight. Maybe you need to tell me that after class. We always talk in our shop which is the one that we think is going to be the most popular. So I'm kind of curious what your thoughts are. Okay. We're getting there, still poking out. You might have done your homework, and if you're done with your homework, you can go ahead and start attaching them together, and then you can attach them to your white layer. I'm going to attach
All of them.
all of them. Who said all of them?
Robin.
Well, thank you, Robin.
Placed a big order with Impression Obsessions.
Oh, nice. Well, usually when I do Christmas card kits, sometimes I have like 5 or 6 of them, and they're always like 2 or 3 that outsell the other one, and there's usually one that doesn't hardly sell at all. So I wish I could get them all to sell, but you never know. So anyways, I'm now going to attach, and I'm going to, on this sample, like I said, I have my silver on top. I'm going to try it with my purple on top, just showing a little bit of the silver. And I'm just going to mix it up a little bit. And you do you. So you do whatever you want.
Oh, I like that.
So let's see if I can find a part of my microdot adhesive sheet that I haven't used as much. Now when I'm offsetting them a little bit, Kathleen, mittens are your favorite because you love purple. Nice. Actually, the gal out in the shop, Becky, she said, I think mittens is going to be the popular one. I didn't ask her if it was because she liked purple too. So when I offset them just by a little bit, so you can see a little bit of that sparkle behind there. So let's do the next one. Now I can feel my hands are getting a tiny bit sticky, so after mittens, we might have to take wipe my hands off break.
Robin likes the stitching in the mittens.
Yeah, that really, the mittens are done on our So Silk stocks, which is a very soft stock. I don't know when you felt it, when you're taking it out of the sheet. The mittens, it's just a really It's called So Silk. It only comes in 6 colors, and I've used it before. But it's just a really soft stock, and it really die cuts well. And it does the stitching really well. Just because I think of how soft it is. So, unfortunately, yeah, it only comes in 6 colors. If they had a whole bunch of colors of it, I would have them all, but it only comes in 6. But I do like most of the colors that it comes in. So there's our Warmest Wishes with the purple on top and the silver underneath. So now let's, actually I don't know why I put that away. Let's attach our strip with our embossed MirriCard. So in the kit for this one, because everybody might not have the embossing folder, and I don't even know if it's a current embossing folder because I haven't bought an embossing folder for a long time. In the kit, this little silver strip will come pre-embossed. That's the only thing. Like, this layer comes cut, all the layers come cut, and then you get the stock for die cutting the mittens and the words, but the embossed silver MirriCard strip does come pre-embossed. Just because, yeah, I don't know if this is even a embossing folder that's still available. I'd say it's probably super old. So let's kind of just lay our mittens on there for approximately where you want them, so then we can place our Warmest Wishes. Okay, so now we're going to put our Warmest Wishes on, and I just have my mittens kind of placed there. I don't have them attached because they are going to get popped up with foam tape. So let's do our Warmest Wishes. Okay, Warmest Wishes, and you can put them at an angle, you can do them however you want, because the words are kind of more delicate words. You can kind of twist them if you wanted to, or angle them a little bit, or curve them if you wanted to. I think I kind of like it with the purple on top and the little bit of silver showing through the back.
I do too.
Okay, now that we have that on there, I'm going to make sure I have a clean work surface, and I'm just going to turn it over and give it a little push from the back. But now I'm going to put the mittens on last because we're going to pop those up with foam tape. So let's go ahead and attach our main layers. And you can either start from the bottom and work your way up, or I'm going to start and work my way down. Again, make sure your work surface is clean. Because there's nothing worse than turning your creation over on a dirty work surface and then turning it back over and going, oh!
Yeah, that would be me.
So, see, I kind of line it up on 3 sides. Right now I'm looking at the top, the side, and the bottom. And it is a very, very narrow border, so you only see a hair of that purple. Oh, our phone is ringing. have my little snowflake on there a hair crooked. I mean, you probably wouldn't even hardly notice it, and whoever gets it isn't going to notice it, but I kind of did notice it. And if ever in class, if you don't like my borders, like if you want a bigger border so you want to see more of that purple MirriCard, you're always welcome to trim stuff off too. I just kind of liked I do like narrow borders, but they are kind of harder to line stuff up. But yeah, if you want to see more, you could always just trim off a hair on two sides. You don't have to trim all four, a hair on two sides, and that makes it bigger all the way around.
Diane Burns says she loves the cards.
Thanks, Diane. Okay, now I lost my little gem. There we go. Okay, now your fiber is too long, so you do kind of want to attach it to one mitten and then look at it to determine how much you want up at the top. If you want to put your gem on, you can. I can tell you that I used the gem to kind of hold my twine down, but it didn't stick very good. So like I do have to take a little bit of glue underneath there because you can see that my gem kind of just pops up. So I am going to take a little bit of like crystal lacquer or something underneath my gem just to hold it in place better. But you can let as much fiber dangle your mittens as you want. Or if you want to put your gem down and kind of have your fiber go over the top of your gem, you can. So I got a piece of hair on there. Okay, so I'm going to take the back of one of my mittens and I'm just going to put a little bit of tape on it so I can attach my string. And if you want, because if you don't want to deal with that sticky, you could take a piece of foam tape and just stick it right over the top of that, because then you're not fighting the stickiness of how you're holding your fiber down. And you can attach one if you want. Otherwise, you can attach your mittens kind of together by your string first. That's up to you. I kind of did it that way. I attached them with, I don't know. Okay, let's look at that. It's about 2 to 3 inches of string between the mittens. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go for it. And I'm going to put about 2 to 2.5 inches between. If you need to cut off a little bit of your twine, just cut it off. Oh, I got sticky scissors. So yeah, about 2.5 inches. Put foam tape, so I've got my string attached with a piece of foam tape, my other string attached, and I'm going to put a piece of foam tape right over the top of that. I'm going to take my backing off. I'm just going to arrange my mittens however I want them. And then I'm just going to take my gem to attach my, and if your gem isn't sticking, you might use a little bit of crystal lacquer. That's what I just added to this one because my gem wasn't sticking. This one looks like it's sticking pretty good. But if you want to make sure it sticks better, you could use some crystal lacquer or a little bit of wet glue. But there, we have our purple one done.
Valerie Brown says all 4 of these cards are beautiful.
Oh, thanks, Valerie. But that doesn't narrow it down for what's the best one.
I can see it on here, but no comments. I can't see the comments on here.
Oh. Okay. So, actually, here, let's put this here. Let's put this card away. Which card should we go on to next? Actually, I'm going to take a quick clean my hand break. Oops. That's that one. That's that one. Okay, let's go on to, well, let's do an easy one. Not like that one wasn't easy, but let's go on to this one, which is our little gift card.
Oh, Valerie Brown said she wants to do the Christmas lights if I had to choose, but that's okay.
Okay, well, let's do this one. Then we'll do the
Poinsettia.
Christmas lights. Oh, and Deb wants to do the poinsettia. Okay, well, I'm going to be the tiebreaker. We're going to do the little gift card first. So this one is our little mini enclosure card, and we haven't been selling very many of them because I forgot to put them online. So this week I just posted them online. I was like, well, those aren't moving. Well, yeah, because they're not online, because we would carry them at shows. But they're these cute little gift cards, mini enclosure cards. They're white. They're the fossil. There's the metallic variety, which has a silver, gold, a white, a cream, 2 golds, metallics, which we're using the white metallic. Then we have our festive variety and our holiday, which is red, white, and gumdrop green. So anyways, those are our little enclosure cards, and they have these cute little envelopes with them too. So yeah, I'm hoping now that I have them online that they'll actually sell. So they are online under scored cards, and then there's square cards, and they're in that section of square cards. So anyways, we'll do this one. This is one of our dies. It's our square layering die set, and I also use this a lot on the Twist and Pop card, and then there's one other card I use it, on the waterfall card too. So we can go ahead, we can just attach that one right away. Okay, now we'll pull out, now this one does not come as a kit. So this one is, so these dies are from Impression Obsession, and they are called frosted cookies. And you get 5 of them. You can use whichever ones you want. So like so you can make a couple gift cards out of these. On my sample I used the tree, the bell. We'll use the tree, the bell, and the mitten, because those popped out. The little joy is from a different set from Impression Obsession called Stitched Words. And this big piece of stock right here is just for you to layer that on. So let's just start with that. Punch out your little joy. This is probably the littlest die in that set. There's a whole bunch of words, like I think Merry, Christmas, Seasons, Greetings. I don't know what else comes in it, but the joy is like the littlest one. So yeah, punch out your little words, and then you're just going to attach your little words to your white piece, your extra white piece. And you can put all of your whatever pieces you're not using back in your little sleeve, because then you can use them on different little cards. Because they are super cute little frosted cookies. So we have our joy, and I'm just gonna, this is just a really quick trim, and we can't trim that small on our big trimmers. And I know the piece is like way too big, but then you have another piece to do whatever you want with. If you're a save the sniblet kind of girl, who here saves their sniblets? I bet none of you do you? I have sniblets all over the place. And you can attach your joy, you know, straight on or angled, up to you. And I did pop that up with foam tape. I know you can't waste those pretty papers, can you, Robin? You gotta save every little scrap because you might need it for cutting a little joy out or some little frosted cookies. So for these guys, and see, you can do the reverse, like we're using the outsides of them, and on the next part we're using the inside. So you can, or you could do this, you could just attach it and that will bring it up a little bit more, or you could just kind of layer it. So you can layer them together just like that, and then they're kind of flush with each other. Or you can actually pile it up so it sticks up a little bit. I would just put it inside so it kind of lays flush, because then you have a whole nother set. And my fingers aren't working. There we go. So yeah, you have another set that you could do that, and on the card that we're doing, we're doing it this way. So
These guys are like the quilters who come and raid my trash can. I bet shows.
So yeah, for attaching that, you can use whatever adhesive you want. What am I going to use? I think I'm going to use my little dot roller. Oh, and I should be adhesiving on my little post-it note. So, or what you could do is you can attach the outline of an image first. So the outline of an image first, and then you can go ahead and attach the inside of the image. But yeah, save all your little pieces, because yeah, you can make more little gift tags out of the reverse. Well, I didn't space that very well, did I? Oh, too bad, it's not coming off. I was going to angle them all. Okay, hang on. Going back to my star. Nope, I don't like that angled. So hang on, I gotta peel that off, which I don't peel off too often, but this time I am. Okay, there's something to be said about putting your middle one on first so you can get it centered. There we go. There There we go. All right, now where did my little gold star go? Oh, it's stuck on the back. Okay, has anybody ever had that happen? Where it's sticking on the back? Let me try this gluing.
Yeah.
At least I found it right away. It really stinks when you're looking and looking and looking, and then you give up looking, and then you find it after you've like cut another one.
Mine are usually on the floor.
Yeah. Well, I knew nothing went onto the floor, so I knew it had to be here. But sometimes they get away from you, and you know it has to be there. Okay, so let me put all my little pieces back in, because we can make another gift card or two with all of our little opposites. Oh, and on your elbows too. Good point. Yeah, because if you're wearing a sweater or a shirt, a long sleeve shirt, yeah, it could be on your elbow. Okay, so we have the remainder of our frosted cookies to do another card. Yay. Okay, so we have our cute little gift card. You're going to make somebody feel special. All right. Everybody take a baby wipe break. Wipe off their fingers. And let's see. I think it was Deb and Valerie, right? That were said which ones they wanted to do.
Yeah, let's see. Deb Eastwood wanted to do the poinsettia, and Valerie wanted to do the Christmas lights.
Okay. Deb and Valerie both give me a number from 1 to 10, and who's ever closest to what I am writing down, that's the one we'll do. Oops. Okay, Deb and Valerie, if you're out there, both give me a number from 1 to 10.
No response yet.
Oh, Deb said a 4, Valerie said a 9.
Okay.
This is my number, number 8. So we are doing the lights card. But never fear, Deb, we'll get to the poinsettia. So yeah, number 8. So we're going on to the lights card now. And then last but not least will be the poinsettia card. Okay, so for this one, we have our main card base and our 2 bigger layers. Then we also have a gold MirriSparkle layer. Let's build our lights first. So dump all of your stuff out and make sure your work surface is clean and without a bunch of sniblets, because otherwise this stuff could get stuck in sniblets. So you should have a gold set, a green set, and a red set. Now you don't need all of these ornaments, okay? We only did, how many ornaments? Where's my actual card? Oh, here it is. Okay, so we used 5 ornaments on the card, so you have extras. And I did all gold tops on them, so you have a couple extra gold tops here. So decide, and these are the extra ones are the big ones because I have 3 big ones. So decide how you want to mix and match your ornaments with your tops. If you want to do them just like me, I did all gold on the top, but you can interchange and do your red tops on your green, your green tops on your gold, however you want. So just decide what you're going to do for your ornaments and then put everything else back in your little bag. So I'm just going to do exactly what I have here. But you do have extra ornaments and tops for a future card. But you will need your 3, if you're doing 3 big ornaments, you'll need 3 big tops. And then I also used the small top and the medium top. And then put everything else back in your little bag, and you can just set that aside. You can put it with your frosted cookies. As extra little pieces and parts. Okay, so now you're going to, well, you want to poke out on the top of every ornament. There's a hole, so you want to poke that out because that's what the string is going to go through. And you're also going to poke that out of the little toppers too. And it's up to you. There are some little things here that pop out. I did not pop those out of mine. And if I did pop them out, I put a piece of Scotch tape behind it or a piece of foam tape behind it because all of these pop up with foam tape. So I did hold those in place. If yours are popping out, you can take a piece of Scotch tape and just go to the back. Or if you want them to pop out and you want to interchange those, you can. But you can, if they're popping out or you want to make sure they don't pop out, you can just take a piece of Scotch tape and put it behind there. But you want to pop out all of your tops, both in your ornament and in the little toppers. And then you're just going to use adhesive and attach your little toppers. When you attach your toppers, we're doing MirriCard on MirriCard, so you want to be very slight with the glue. Don't use a lot of glue because you don't want it to squish out all over. So be very minimal with your glue. And keep your fingers clean. So if you need to clean them off in between, keep a baby wipe there and wipe them off. But you want to line up your tops. So your hole, so you can see that hole. You have to be able to, get something through that hole. Because I actually did do my thread through my hole. And that's up to you. If you don't want to do that, I'm going to give you an option. So up to you what you want to use for glue. But again, don't get glue all over the place. And maybe you pull out a tweezers to attach these. How's it going, Mom?
Hey, no comments. I can't see any on this little iPad, so that's not going to work the way we wanted it to.
Oh, okay. I see.
I've been playing with it, and I can't figure out how to make them show up there.
I was watching you guys on my phone so I could look at comments, but the comments are small. So then we pulled out a mini iPad to see if we could look at comments on there, but my mom's been trying and she can't get the comments to come up on there. So yeah. And you guys are busy working that you really don't have many comments. Okay, so keep putting your little tops on. Make sure your things are lined up. Get out a tweezers if you need to.
A needle threader? You need a needle threader to...
If you want to get a needle threader out, you can. I did not use that. I took just my Scotch tape and wrapped it around the end of my ribbon.
Oh.
And that's what I used to get it to go through. So it is embroidery floss that I used. And it does come apart on the end, so I trimmed it and then I wrapped a piece of tape around it. And then I actually cut it at kind of an angle. Now, if I was doing a lot of these cards, yes, I would probably get out a needle.
I wonder how that would work. Would it tear your paper?
A needle?
Yeah, the needle threader.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, I know what it. I'm not sure. Okay, we've got one more, or I've got one more. How you guys all doing?
Quiet.
Remember, if you're losing any of your pieces on your ornaments, you can use a piece of Scotch tape.
This is what was in there. Your phone was in there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4 computers and a phone.
Maybe one of these days I'll show you what my camera room looks like.
Yeah.
Not my stamp room, because, yeah, no.
There's the phone again.
You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. You know it's a robocall anyway.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully none of you are calling me because we didn't answer the phone. Oops. I'm just going through and I'm putting tape on the back to keep my little things from falling out. Okay. Well, I used a little bit of wet glue, so I'm just going to give those a little bit of chance to dry. While they're drying, let's go ahead and do our Merry and Bright. So I'm going to put my Scotch tape away. This piece I cut with our mini slimline layering die set. So that's what this piece is cut. So in your kit, if you get the Christmas card kit, you'll get the paper to die cut this. In the complete kit, you do get this die. So, which is actually 6 dies. But if you don't want to die cut it, you could always just trim it down to this size. So right now we're just going to attach these two pieces together. And then we are going to glue the Merry and Bright on there. And I'm just letting my ornaments dry because I did use a little bit of a wet glue on there. So I did use the gold MirriSparkle on this one, just because, and I put that on crooked. Geez, I'm having a crooked night. I did use the gold MirriSparkle instead of the gold MirriCard, just because we have a lot of gold MirriCard going on. So I just wanted to tone that down just a little bit. So this one I did pre-weed out. Now this one was probably the hardest one to weed because it is attached and the letters are very delicate. So this one took a little bit of, a little bit of futzing with to get it all weeded out. So, and that's just going to attach right there. And that I'm going to use my micro dot adhesive sheet. All right. Come on, fingers. There we go. Okay, so our micro dot adhesive sheet, just for our delicate letters and words, works great. Okay, and you're just going to lay that down however you'd like. And if you have a clean work surface yet, you can turn it over. Just give it a little push from the back. Okay, now you don't want to attach these two together yet, because our string is actually going to go on to the back of right here. So, but we can pop this up if we want to with foam tape. So we can put a little bit of foam tape on the back of there and pop it up. And then we'll know the positioning for our string and our ornaments. It was a little bit hard to weed, yes. That Merry and Bright was a little bit, it's one that you needed a little bit of patience for. I used a pin and I kind of pushed it out in certain areas. Well, I got the Merry and the Bright, but then getting the ampersand in the middle was probably the hardest part. So when I did put this on here, I put it fairly close to the top, probably about 1/8 of an inch off the top, because that left me room for my ornaments on the bottom. Yeah, the pokey tool helped.
Yeah, but we can't find our pokey tool.
I can't find my pokey tools. Yeah. So this is my pokey tool right now. Oh man, I need to get in my stamp room and clean it.
I think your dad hid it.
Yeah. Okay, so now I did take, and we gave this to you plenty long because it was unraveling a little bit. And then I did put, this is just embroidery floss, and I did put a piece of tape around. And I probably cut my tape too big. But I just rolled a piece of Scotch tape around it, and then I cut it with the Scotch tape around it at an angle, because then it made a nice little point.
Robin glued the end of hers and let it dry like a needle.
Oh, that's a really good idea too.
Great idea. I love that.
And then I took that and I just fed that in and out. Oops, and that wasn't the one that I wanted on there first. Darn it. Okay, well mine are going in a different order than what they're in on the actual card. So, actually, I'm going to do the other end too, even though I don't need to do the other end.
But you be you. Mm-hmm.
So, if you missed that part here, let me do it again, because I'm going to do it on my other end. Just because I put my ornaments on. Maybe put your ornaments in front of you in the order that you want them to go. There we go. But I did take a piece of tape and I kind of just rolled that around. And then I cut it at an angle. To make my own little needle. But yeah, if you're at home and you want to grab a needle, go for it. I should have said that because that would probably work really good. And I just don't worry about sticking your ornaments in place yet. Just get them all threaded on there in the order that you want them. And I did kind of go from the top and then on the underneath the next one. But yeah, just get all of your ornaments on there. But because I'm like here at the paper cut, like I have needles at home and I have a sewing machine and I have all that, but I don't have like many like needles. I mean, I have pins here. That's what I use for my pokey tool, but I don't have needles here to sew with, which is probably, maybe I should do that. But so the other day when I was, not the other day, but last week when I was putting this card together or designing it, I'm like, what am I going to do? So yeah, that was my like idea. Mm-hmm. So anyways, you're going to just decide how you want, like what tightness you want your thread, or if you want it a little bit loose. And I kind of turned that over, put a, decided, oops, hang on, don't let them fall off. But I can either take a little bit of Scotch tape and hold it in place on the back, which is what I'm going to do, or you can take your two-sided tape and do that.
Get a mini sewing kit for your desk drawer. I'll bring one tomorrow, Grace.
Okay, so I'm going to grab my Scotch tape. And I just have 2 hunks of my Scotch tape. One I'm going to just do on the, I'm going to put it right about there. And I'm going to put attach it on the back. And I can make it a little bit looser if I want to. And I'm just going to attach it on the back of the other side. Now that we have it attached, now we can just kind of play with our ornaments. So we can kind of turn them over, put a piece of foam tape on the back of each one, and then we can actually place them down. So this card is a little bit putzier, but it is July, so you have plenty of time to work on them for Christmas. Of course, if you're me, then you work on them, 3 days before Christmas. But
or Christmas morning.
or after Christmas, and they go out after. Or you do them that Christmas, and then you forget to send them out, and then you send them out the next year. So, anyways, a little bit of foam tape, and now we can just take our backing off our foam tape and arrange our ornaments however we'd like. But yeah, it is July, so we've got a good start.
Patricia Selhoff says it's challenging. She was at the eye doctor and her eyes are still dilated.
Oh, this probably isn't the right card for you to be working on tonight, Patricia. This one you might have to just put aside till tomorrow.
Yeah, watch it tomorrow. Oh.
I thought this card was very fun. It just looked fun to me.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have our ornaments attached. Now, I am going to attach my gold to the front of my card, and then I'm going to turn this over and very carefully put tape on the back. But let's get this piece attached first. Now, in your kit, let's just put it this way. If you get the, oh, and I just got adhesive on there. If you get the kit, you will get this big layer for layering, and you also will get gold MirriCard for die cutting. If you want to be conserve and use paper, you could technically cut some of your pieces out of the center of here, because then you're going to cover it up. So that's up to you, and then you'll have extra gold MirriCard for another project, because you do get this piece pre-cut, plus you will get some for die cutting your Merry and Bright, and for die cutting your ornaments, and die cutting the tops of the ornaments. So, but yeah, you can knock your socks off if you want to do your die cutting out of this layer. That's going to get covered up anyways. So just a little FYI. Sometimes I do that.
This is making me dizzy. These computers are all going at different times.
Oh, don't look at them all, Mom. Only look at one.
I know.
Okay.
I'm still thinking about it.
So now we're going to turn that over very carefully, because we do have foam tape on there. And I don't always, that's something I usually say to do your foam taping last, so you're not taping over the top of your foam tape, because sometimes it's harder doing that. But this one, we kind of needed to get that string and the pieces attached before taping it down. And I usually don't put tape on here, because if you go too far out, then your tape shows. So we have our Merry and Bright. I don't know where my little sleeve went for this one. Okay, there it is. So we have our little Merry and Bright with our Christmas lights. I kept saying ornaments. Lights. Sorry. Now, Deb, which one is next? The poinsettia. Yay! Okay. Now, when I was talking yesterday, and I didn't weed anything out, I said you can weed out your gold, but don't weed out your red or your lava, just because you're going to end up placing these pieces in here, and it's easier if they're kind of placed, because then you can just take them right off of here and put them on that one. But I do want to show you how I got to these pieces first. So let me just pop this out. So I have the die here with me. My die cutter is behind me, but I do want to show you what I did, because this die has the little like embossing veins in it of the petals and the leaves. And if you just do it regular, it'll turn out like the gold, where it doesn't show the embossing. So I just want to show you what I did in order to get the embossing. Now, I think there's some pads out there that do that. I don't have one. So I will show you what I do. So we have our poinsettia, and then you can see on the back that there's like usually the MirriCard and the MirriSparkle. Oops, some of mine fell out. Usually the MirriCard and the lava are white on the back. But we actually just took a piece of text weight paper and ran it through with that at the same time. So I took my die, I took a piece of MirriCard, and we actually had them cut the same size, but this one is not. and we kind of piled it up like that. So I have my piece of text paper, my piece of MirriCard, my die, and then I put it through my machine. So I'm going to be out of the screen for just a minute. But I'm still here. I'm die cutting. And did you hear that big thunk that I just had? If you put your die in, instead of putting it straight on going to your rollers, if you put it at a slight angle, then you don't get that big clunker. Usually. I'm using a crossover 2 machine, and I am using our metal plate. I'm back. So then you get the veins showing. Now, if you want them to be even more pronounced than they are, you can put 2 pieces of text paper behind there, or if you're using one of the machines that has the crossover 2 that I use, you can just add more pressure to it, and then you'll get the veins a little bit deeper. So you do need to put, or if, like I said, if there's some type of embossing pad out there, which I think there is, but that's how I got the veins on the MirriCard and the lava. Now the lava doesn't show up as pronounced, and that's just because I think it's a little bit thicker stock. So that is how I got. So you're going to die cut this piece 3 times. You're going to die cut it in gold, you're going to die cut it in the lava, you're going to die cut it in the red MirriCard. So in this kit, if you order the Christmas card kit, you'll get the scored card, the layer, your MirriSparkle 2 layers, which there's gold and there's green, and then you'll get these, and they will come like as a square, a little bit bigger than the actual die.
Will you be at Madison OOK?
I didn't sign up for it yet, so I am not sure. We probably will be, but I didn't sign up yet. So, who's asking? Oh, Diane.
Diane Barnes.
Yeah. In the beginning of this year, Diane, I said that I wasn't doing any shows, any travel shows. That is the one that I'm considering doing, just because it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then home. So, but yeah, I haven't made that final decision yet. We are having our warehouse sale. So let's go ahead and get started. We do need to, let's just start building on our green. And actually, since I am working on green paper, I'm going to do some of my bottom layering first. So
Deb Eastwood wants to know, are they really having the Madison OAK?
Well, okay, let's just put it this way. They had put it out there to the vendors saying, would you come? And we were supposed to reply. Actually, I don't know if they sent the contract. We were supposed to reply by July 9th, and then they were going to make a decision. And I have not heard whether it's on or not. So that would be Brian and Carol, who do the OOAK. That would be a great question to ask them if the Madison show is happening. So I cannot say for sure one way or another. So I am going to put these 3 layers on my card.
Okay, where is the die from, Sarah?
The die is from Impression Obsession. And in the complete Christmas card kit, it does come with the poinsettia die and the Merry Christmas die. So, and this one I did start pretty darn close to the top, because if you don't start it close enough to the top, then your Merry Christmas doesn't fit. And the Merry Christmas does overlap a tiny bit. So maybe put your Merry Christmas down there just for placement, and then attach your other 2 layers. And we can even attach that Merry Christmas right away too. So the gold MirriSparkle, the green MirriSparkle, and then the Merry Christmas. We can go ahead and attach those all 3 right away. So yeah, I have not got that final decision on whether the one of a kind is happening yet. So Emily, on the all of the dies that we're using right now in this class are from, well, except this one die is ours, but all of the Christmas dies are from Impression Obsession. And usually on the instruction sheet on the front, right below the picture, it will show the dies and their numbers. So if you go to their website, it's really easy to look them up.
But your kit will have it in it, right?
But the complete kit has the dies in it.
Okay.
So yeah, you can go ahead and get that attached. Turn it over on a clean surface. Then the next thing we're going to attach is the poinsettia, and whatever way you attach it, kind of put your other two in place in the same direction. Because then when you're placing leaves, then you'll know which leaf, you'll just be able to easily transfer it from one place to the other. So I am going to use my micro dot adhesive sheet for the frame too. Okay, once you get that, if you can turn it over if you have a clean work surface. Okay, and now you're just going to transfer pieces. So that's why I said don't weed these all out, because if you have these petals all just laying on your work surface in front of you, or you had to dig them out of the garbage to use them, it'll be like a puzzle. Unless you really like puzzles. If you'd like puzzles, just turn them over and just go for it. But if you don't, then just kind of work one piece at a time. And I did kind of take these main pieces that are closer in, and I used the lava, which is a little bit deeper, and then I used the brighter ones on the outside. And then some of them you're going to leave green. So here's my original. So, and I'm just going to start working. Since I'm using the lava first, I'm just going to leave that one right next to it. And I am going to take a baby wipe break and get my hands nice and semi-clean. How's everyone doing?
Quiet.
Now that we've almost finished, now what is everyone's favorite? Okay, since you guys asked me if we were going to the Madison show, let's just put this out there. If there was the Madison show or another show going on closer in your area, would you be going? Would you go to a retail show right now? And I know it's all a personal preference, so just throwing it out there. No, everyone's going to play nice, no ridiculing or anything. I'm just kind of curious. I had made my personal decision early in the year that I wasn't going to any shows this year.
Poinsettia card.
Poinsettia?
Yes, 2 would go. Three would go. Grace Griswold, Wendy Little, Valerie Brown, Robin Brunley, Diane McAtura.
Now, are shows happening in your area? Oh, you went to the West Springfield. It was great.
Deb Eastwood would go to the Madison show. Patricia Selhoff went to the Springfield Mass show. How were they attended?
Oh, yeah, how were they attended? How was the show attended, Patricia?
By both vendors and buyers. None in Arizona yet. Fewer vendors than before. In 2 weeks ago, Emily Henry.
Oh, Wendy, you're out in Washington. We usually don't make it out that far, unfortunately. But I can tell you that we're not going to do as many shows as we were doing. We were doing 24 or 25 weekends a year. And now after being home and having a new grandbaby, now we just decided, you know what? It's time to not be on the road as much. So we are, we're still going to do some shows. We're just not going to do as many. Because it's a lot. Traveling that much, setting up, staying in hotels and all that. So, and if I was doing that, I wouldn't be able to bring you my virtual stuff because there just wouldn't be time. So yeah, we're going to cut down on the traveling. We're still going to do the retail or the virtual. So yeah.
Looks like shows were smaller than usual. Although Pat Selhoff said they said it was better than expected.
Well, maybe someday we'll make it out to Washington. That's a long drive. We have gone to California a few times. We went to Washington years ago in our younger days.
Yeah, I slept on the beach.
And yeah, we slept on the beach once. Woke up. Okay, so now I have all of my red MirriLava pieces placed. And now I'm just going to place my red MirriCard. So I'm just going to move this over. So see how you could save those pieces, save your lava pieces and then do some cards opposite. So even though in the complete kit you're going to get enough to cut 25 of these and 25 of these, you could make them go further by doing them a little bit opposite. And I'm glad you guys are all enjoying the virtual classes, and I appreciate it so much, all the support and the kind words you guys all give me about my classes. So it makes it all worth coming up with new stuff. Although sometimes I'm like wondering if, if I'm gonna make you happy all the time. I hope to.
Wendy Little said maybe they'll make a road trip our way.
Oh, that would be great. We've had actually people come to our warehouse sale from Texas, Kansas, Louisiana, Ohio. Linda and Kathy came from Ohio.
Laura Plummer says she would not know you without virtual and she loves your stuff.
Oh, thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Laura. I think there's a few of you that would never have known us without the virtual.
Have a design a card contest next year. Maybe you would get some good ideas from us. That's a great idea.
That's a great idea. I actually do get my inspiration sometimes from, I'm on Stamp Junkies and a few of those other sites, so I do get inspiration off of some of those too. So yes, I love to see your creations.
Valerie Brown's in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and she says it's too far to travel for the warehouse sale. Make a weekend out of it. Make a week out of it.
Yeah, I've been to Hershey.
Yeah.
Been to Hershey Park. So, and we used to do a couple shows in Pennsylvania, York, Pennsylvania, and Allentown.
And Michael.
And actually, we've done Pittsburgh. Okay, now where was I at? This one.
Not the way we wanted to find you, but so happy that we did, says Kathleen Moore. Virtual has been wonderful.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys all found me.
Oh, Robin said she would consider a trip to Wisconsin for the warehouse sale. It's a lovely time of year.
Yeah, September, it's really nice here.
Yep.
Okay, so now we've got a couple more. See how this could be like a whole puzzle going on if you didn't have them kind of side by side? It's a little bit putsy, but it's not too bad. And a tweezers might be good for some of these little pieces. I think one more. Robin, if you came, you'd probably need to bring an empty suitcase. Although we have shipped back stuff for people.
Okay, Kim Conley says, I love them all, but actually the Joy, the Tree, and the Poinsettia puzzle were my favorites. Love the mini slimline size.
Nice. Okay, so it's not even done because it's not attached to the card. So once you are done, if you want, you can turn it over, just give it one last push, and then you can attach it to the front of your card.
Only one piece missing tonight? Is that a fact?
That would be awesome.
I would drive and pack my SUV.
Oh.
Robin.
So yeah, this poinsettia card, I don't know if you watched the video yesterday, but yeah, I struggled with it. I almost did it tone on tone with more just all golds. I had it going all different ways, green MirriCard back here. So, but yeah, I like my final product on that one. So that is the class. Let's get all of the cards laid out that we did. Now, question before we all leave. Do you all, or do most of you finish the cards while you're working with me? Do I work at an okay pace for you to all get them done? Do I go too fast? Do I go too slow? Just kind of curious because I can't see you.
Emily Henry's husband was really impressed and loves the shiny stuff.
Oh, nice. Okay, let's get them. Oh, there's my envelope. I usually keep my envelope.
Mostly finished, says Emily. Good. I'm glad she likes it.
Yeah, if I'm ever going too fast, tell me to slow down. If I'm ever going at a snail's pace, tell me to speed up. It's hard to see. It's hard when I can't see.
Yep, they're staying caught up to you, but they weeded earlier, Kim Conley.
Yeah, weeding helped, especially on this class. Because yes, the Merry and Bright, that one was the hardest one to weed.
never finished. Oh, Stephanie. Stephanie says that she never finishes the card, but she always likes to be able to look at the reruns.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we'll get this posted on YouTube, and then I'll do a follow-up email like I usually do. What do we have coming up next? Well, next Thursday, I've been trying to stay and do something every Thursday, even if it's just a little half an hour demo. So yep, I'll be here next Thursday. I will be on my regular page, but I figured out how to share it to this class page. So every Thursday you're going to see me. Well, this next Thursday I'll be on mine. The 29th will be a little bit different because that's the one that I'm doing for that AIR group, and that's on a private Facebook page. So if you haven't bought that kit, it's not available through me. It's available through some stores. So I can get you that information if you're still interested in that kit. But I might pop onto my regular page, like 15 minutes before that class starts. Just because I told you I'm going to be doing something every Thursday just to stay in touch. So, and then the 31st is my craft along for the one of a kind that we're doing, a reverse explosion card and a front stair step card. Those samples are out in the shop, otherwise I'd run out and get them. So, but anyways, thanks for joining me tonight. Glad you liked the cards. Nice talking with you all, and we'll see you next week Thursday. Bye.